the Supreme Court decision, I think, was a mistake, but you still see thousands and thousands of people who work for major corporations having to be tested as a consequence of the decision made by the corporation, not by the standard ISET that is there. I think you'll see that increase, not decrease.
They've got President Biden yesterday afternoon insisting it was a big mistake for the Supreme Court to strike down his vaccine or testing requirements on most employers. But our next guest is fighting for medical freedom and introducing a bill to ban vaccine mandates for healthcare workers. Texas Republican Congressman Dan Crenshaw joins us from Capitol Hill. Congressman, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Okay, so the Supreme Court said, hey, Joe Biden, your vaccine mandate for big companies with more than 100 people, that's against the law. But they left in place the mandate regarding healthcare workers. How do you want to change that?
Well, let's go back to the Supreme Court decision. They made a mistake here. They were right to strike down the OSHA mandate, okay? And the reasoning they used was that Congress has not given OSHA an explicit permission to actually impose that mandate. They said you can't do it. But they said that Congress did, through some vague statute that they referred to, give permission to HHS to do the same for healthcare workers. Now, I completely disagree with the conservative majority on this. I don't know how they came to this conclusion. And so let's fix it by making it very clear what Congress wants. And so in this bill, the No Mandates for Healthcare Workers Act, it simply changed the Social Security Act to make it clear that the Secretary of HHS has no authority to impose mandates or drugs on healthcare workers just because their facility takes money from Medicare or Medicaid. We make it clear so they can't do this anymore. Now, why is this important? Look, we've all heard the stories. We all hear from our districts that healthcare workers are losing their jobs, and then our hospitals are understaffed. We've heard that 420,000 people are short in nursing homes. We have a 420,000 employee shortage in our nursing homes right now. So to not do everything we can to keep people employed, and by the way, most of these workers who are getting fired, they already have natural immunity. They've been dealing with the pandemic for years. So let's do what makes sense and help our hospitals and help our healthcare workers and get rid of this nonsense.
Why did the Supreme Court, what was their reasoning for that, for saying you don't have, this mandate's illegal for big businesses, but not for healthcare workers?
So they couldn't find any language in law that would allow OSHA to have that authority, but they somehow found it in healthcare law, essentially, that would govern CMS. And so they found something in law, I'm not going to get the exact wording right, but it sounded something like HHS is responsible for the general well-being of people. And so they took that to mean that you could impose a vaccine mandate on someone. I think that's an enormous overreach and a poor reading of the law.